welcome to the video. If you've joined us, we are about to start with a DIY project, so wish us luck. As you can see here, we have a brand new wall that's been installed. So we need to cover it, which means we need to prime it and we need to paint it. We have to do that on both this side and on the other side as well. We are by no means trained professionals. We have a little bit of limited experience with painting, but thought there might be a lot of people out there that also would like to be tackling this on their own and do some painting themselves, tackle a bit of DIY, and maybe save some dollars without having to pay for someone else to do it. We're going to go through what we have purchased to get the job done. We'll show you this before section, and we'll also show you what it looks like at the end. Hopefully it comes together nicely. So we went out to Bunnings yesterday and we picked up what we think are some of the essentials. We've already wiped and dusted down this wall. We have purchased a variety of things here. We have a primer that's out of shot. I'll just grab it for you. Excuse me one second. We have one with a British Paints brand. I've used it before, I really liked it, so I'll just stick with what I know. This is a 4-in-1 prep primer because it's an unfinished wall. So we've grabbed that one in 4 litres, which should hopefully be enough to cover both this side and the other side. We've also got our wall paints, which is, we chose this colour, I don't know if you can tell. This is called Vintage Denim, also in the British Paints range. This was a little bit more expensive because it requires a deep base, not a white base like the lighter colours. We also have a little bit of ceiling paint because we're going to need to, I don't know if you can tell, but we need to finish off those cornices up the top there. As far as the tools that we're going to need to get the job done, we grabbed an all-in-one tray and roller set. We have got a couple of brushes. We've got a flat edge brush and an angled brush. These ones seem to be good in my limited experience doing the edging. I'm also notoriously messy doing these things, so I like to use these painting pads. These are really good for going down the sides. And last but not least, certainly not least, your painter's tape, which is going to protect all of your edges and hopefully give a nice clean finish. I think all of this roughly came to about $250, $260, so not too bad all together. We're going to end up with a nice feature wall on this side and on the other side in our other room. So this is what we've got, this is what we're going to do. I think there's nothing left but to get started. Okay, here we go. We're about to get started. We're going to do the absolute first thing, which is the preparation. Preparation is so important. We are going to start with the painter's tape. Now, if you are particularly steadily handed or very neat or very experienced, well then skip this part, but I'm too messy for this. I have chosen the Scotch brand because it's something I've used before and it seems to come off really nicely. I've chosen a few cheaper brands and it tends to tear and take so long to remove. And if you've never used this before, this will give you a nice clean edge if you prepare it properly. So all you need, I'll just give you an example. Really easy to tear off. Grab your tape. We're painting this side, so we need to line up over here. Line it up as neatly and as straight as you can. Press it down, but make sure, most importantly, you're pressing down on that edge closest to where you're painting. Otherwise, you're going to get paint that trickles under and gives you a really messy finish. Otherwise, it will be frustrating. So we're going to do that all the way along the side, along the skirts and up the side as well. I just wanted to jump in here. I forgot one tip that I thought would be useful. Before you start with a new roller, try wrapping your roller with tape. If you can tell, because it'll help, when you peel this off, it'll help bring up a lot of the fluffy bits. Like that. We want them on the tape and not on the wall, so give that a go. Okay, so we've mixed up the primer, super important, so you get a nice even finish, and we've just started popping the primer on the wall so you can see before and now. So we've got our roller, popping it into the tray. It's actually really, really thick as compared to our paint, like the top coat. And trying to coat the roller evenly. Okay. And rolling it on, trying to get a nice, smooth and even finish, which is luck. Okay, so far we have cut in with our primer and done an entire coat of rolling on both sides. I'm just finishing putting the primer on the cornices because that's new too. Now we just need to leave it for 2 hours, then we'll come back and do a second coat. Okay, so just a quick update. So far we have done 2 coats of primer all over, including these cornices on both sides, and we've allowed those to dry. Now we are just taping off the cornices because they will be painted in ceiling white, so that's a whole other project. We're going to finish taping off and we're going to cut in with our colour, then we're going to do the rolling with the colour as well. So that's the next step. Okay, now we are up to finally the painting part. So if you remember, we chose Vintage Denim by British Paints. This is what it should look like. We haven't looked yet, so this is the moment of truth. Time to have a look. Ooh. So this is before it's had a good stir. We are not fancy people, so you can get fancy implements to stir, but we're literally just using a ruler. It's worked fine in the past. So we're going to give this a nice good stir so all the different substances mix in together, and then we're going to put it on the wall. Okay, next update. We're kind of multitasking at the moment. So I'm cutting in and we're also rolling at the same time. But this is what the first coat is looking like on the wall. So here was the primer and here's our very first coat. And so far it's going on great. The quality is amazing and I'm really happy with the colour. What do you think? Okay, we are on the other side of the wall. We have already, it's been, 30 minutes and we've already cut in and rolled on both sides. Essentially, we're at 99% of the way done. Now all we need to do is wait about 2 hours and it should have dried, ready for the second coat. So it's already looking pretty good. Obviously it's quite shiny now, it being wet. If we didn't mention, this is a low sheen, which is recommended for a standard room wall as such as this one. All right, time for the next update. We have officially got 2 coats of the blue onto the wall, both the cutting in and on the rolling. And I've got to say, I think it looks really nice and even. I think the low sheen was a perfect choice. Now all we need to do is wait for it to dry before we can take off the painter's tape for the final reveal. Okay, time for the final update. This is the most exciting part. We have done 2 coats. We're really surprised it only needed 2 coats. We thought we may have needed 3, being that it was such a dark colour. But after only 2 coats, as you can see, I think at least it's come out really evenly and I can't see any patchiness at all. So that made things super, even more affordable than we thought it was going to be. And we like this so much, we've actually gone ahead and done a couple of other feature walls and a couple of other rooms. So it's come out as a really cost-effective project. Last little bit, we'll just peel back some of the tape. If we can do this, it's been sitting here for a few days now. one out of the way. Let's do down here. There we go. So it'll be a bit of a process taking the tape off, but well worth the application, because when it comes off, it's created such a nice clean edge, something that I could never have done by myself. So definitely worth the investment in the time and the money. Very happy with the project.